So again, welcome you all to the session today. आप सभी लोगों को नमस्कार और आज का जो टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन है फ्रॉम UPIF प्लेटफॉर्म, यूनिवर्सल प्राउटिस्ट इंटेलेक्चुअल्स फेडरेशन प्लेटफॉर्म, is an open session platform. Every Saturday we do it. Today's topic is Prout cooperative model of economic democracy. Prout के आर्थिक लोकतंत्र का सहकारी मॉडल. So there are a few things coming like Prout, everyone knows, we know at least. Cooperative model and what is difference in cooperative, Prout cooperative model, and why we are connecting it with economic democracy. And then what is other democracy? So many such questions are coming and it should be answered during this session. To start with, we all know कि सामाजिक जीवन में तीन प्रबल आवश्यकताएं हैं मनुष्य की. आई विल स्पीक इन हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स. सो सामाजिक जीवन में तीन प्रबल आवश्यकताएं हैं. एक है संस्कृति, दैट इज कल्चर, एंड देन अर्थनीति, दैट इज इकोनॉमी, एंड राजनीति, दैट इज पॉलिटिक्स. Prout moves with समाज नीति, we all know. So here we are fundamentally different than others, and not by राजनीति. Not by political democracy which is existing today, and today's economy will be, which should be called it a political economy, but we move by economic democracy. We try to move with economic democracy. तो जहां पर पार्टी है, आज समाज नहीं है, पार्टी है. Everybody belong to some party, some dal. So there is nothing called samaj today. Samaj means all together, the definition. So if you go to the political arena, our feeling is dal vihin rajniti mukt arthnaitik loktantra. That is what is our views. और प्रौत व्यवस्था जो है वो व्यवस्था परिवर्तन का हिमायती है, और इसमें इसके मूल में है सहकारिता, कोऑपरेटिव, जो आज हम लोग डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. द वेरी बेसिक्स ऑफ आवर इकोनॉमी is cooperative. और आज की जो व्यवस्था है, we all know and will accept that in all the three strata, that is Sanskriti, Arthaniti and Rajniti, today politics and economy have joined hand together and they have become very strong. And we know that हम कहते हैं ना कि they become very powerful. The power corrupts a person or a system, and absolute power corrupts it absolutely, and which is visible today in society, because there is politics is in the hand of economy today. तो आज जो समाज की व्यवस्था है, विघटनकारी व्यवस्था है, is a dividing system today. और मानव समाज में एकता बढ़ाने के लिए, शोषण मुक्त समाज के लिए हम ये महसूस करते हैं कि सहकारी समितियां इसके अत्यधिक सहायता प्रदान करेंगी. कोऑपरेटिव सिस्टम एंड दैट टू कोऑर्डिनेटेड कोऑपरेशन सिस्टम विल हेल्प इन यूनाइटिंग द ह्यूमैनिटी. मनुष्य चाहता है, खुशी चाहता है, शांति एवं परमानंद चाहता है. मानवीय मन का ये स्वभाव है, हर व्यक्ति चाहता है, चाहे दुनिया के किसी भी कोने में हो. और भौतिक क्षेत्र में विशेष करके इस मानवीय माधुर्य की सर्वोत्तम अभिव्यक्ति जो है वह सहकारी व्यवस्था है, एंड दैट इज कोऑपरेटिव, जो कि सर्वांगीण विकास का रास्ता है और मानवीय रास्ता इज अ ह्यूमन पाथ. सो विद दिस व्यूज आई वुड लाइक टू ओपन द सेशन, एंड वी मस्ट टॉक on what is democracy, what is political democracy, what is we call economic democracy, and cooperative, and how Prout cooperative is different. So we have so many seniors member available today, and I'm very happy that my elder brother Surinder Dada is there. So I request him to start the session today. Can I dare to ask you, Dadaji, please?
Yeah, namaskar everybody. Well, I have resumed back after some time. There was some issues, and so I could not be in the session. And of course, I'm always interested to be here. And the topic is very interesting. Cooperatives is a very, very interesting subject to me personally, and also Baba has given cooperative system the game changer for, for the
Yes.
world economy. And therefore, it's a very good, interesting subject, and I look forward to have more discussion, to listen and also to participate. Thank you.
Dada Surendra ji.
ओके दादा, हमने शुरू कर देंगे.
Yeah, आप शुरू कर सकते हैं.
If everybody of you permit me. दादा,
We are
तो क्या
looking
है?
at you.
या
सुरेंद्र दादा,
तो
नमस्कार.
तो जब साकारता के बारे में हम कोऑपरेटिव के बारे में जब प्रपोज करते हैं, एडवोकेट करते हैं, प्राउड की तरफ से, प्राउड का कोऑपरेटिव करते हैं, तो इसका पीछे का जो एक बैकग्राउंड हम समझना चाहिए. पहली बात है कि आजकल जो भी इकोनॉमीज है, दे आर बेस्ड अपॉन प्रोप्राइटेरियनिज्म. प्रोप्राइटेरियनिज्म मीन हु इज द प्रोप्राइटर? प्रोप्राइटेरियनिज्म. तो ये जो इकोनॉमी, जो डिबेट चलते रहता है इकोनॉमीज में, डिफरेंट इकोनॉमीज, कम्युनिस्ट हो, कैपिटलिस्ट हो, सोशलिस्ट हो, व्हाटएवर इट इज, मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी हो, एवरीवेयर देयर इज ए सर्टेन ऑब्सेशन. क्या है कि हु इज द ओनर, हु ओन्स व्हाट. सो ये ओनरशिप इशू के बेसिस पे ये हमारा इकोनॉमीज डेवलप किया गया है कि गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल्स देम और प्राइवेट पीपल कंट्रोल देम, लाइक दैट. सो बेसिकली क्या है, फ्रॉम प्रोप्राइटरियनिज्म है. सो प्राउट का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, प्राउट का नाम में ही है उसका जो प्रपोजल है, और है प्रोग्रेसिव यूटिलाइजेशन थियरी. व्हाई इट इज नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट ओनरशिप, व्हाई इज टॉकिंग अबाउट यूटिलाइजेशन? बिकॉज इट बिलीव्स ये है एक कॉस्मिक इनहेरिटेंस है. हमारे जो रिसोर्सेस है, रीजनल हो, ग्लोबल हो, cosmic ho, all the resources, psychic ho, physical ho, spiritual ho, all the resources are not created by anybody. They are created by our supreme consciousness. So who can say that we own this thing? The ownership is not the issue. Ownership has no basis. Ownership is your own construction, your own fiction. आपने बना लिया अपने आप को, बस. तो ये क्या है? It says no. Then what should be the basis of economy? The basis of economy should be your how you use it, utilization. So utilization के आधार पर हमारा economy का मॉडल चलता है. We design the economy for the utilization. For utilization for what? Utilization for the welfare of all. Utilization for the welfare of all is the basis of the Prout's economy. Now, ये स्ट्रक्चर, पहला हर चीज के बारे में पहला सब्जेक्टिविटी रहता है. सब्जेक्टिव का मतलब है subjectively we have a view. Yes, this is for the welfare of all. Then we build up the structure so that it will serve the purpose. That is subjective approach through objective adjustment. So ultimately we base our subjectivity is that we are progeny of the same, and the welfare of all is our responsibility. So nobody can say that yeah, I own this, I own that, all this stuff. Okay. Now, once we have understood that, now all the economies today are debate a lot and are based upon the ownership. But Prout diametrically opposed to it. इनका जो क्या बोलते हैं उसका फाउंडेशन स्टोन का पहला खत्म कर देती है. Prout पहला खत्म कर देती है प्रोप्राइटरियनिज्म का जो कंसेप्ट ऑफ ओनरशिप सिस्टम है, उसका जो इम्पोर्टेंस है, महत्व है, उसको तो खत्म कर देती है, डिस्ट्रॉय कर देती है. देन बोलते हैं कि यूटिलाइजेशन इज द इशू. ओके, तो दूसरी से वी आर कमिंग टू द सेकंड लेवल. दैट इज दिस इज एज फार सब्जेक्टिविटी इज subjective approach is concerned. Then we come to the objective. So any enterprise, whether it is about a service enterprise, whether a production enterprise, so any kind of enterprise has got four aspects or four factors. We call them factors. Economy factors bolte hain isko. There are four factors. Whether even this is current always in any economy, whether it is a capitalist economy, whether it is a कम्युनिस्ट इकोनॉमी और वेदर इट इज एनी अदर काइंड ऑफ इकोनॉमी, इसमें जो है ये नेचुरल, जैसा आप बोलते हैं एक आदमी का क्या है, कितने अंग है, ये 2 हाथ है, 2 पांव है, 2 आंखें हैं, एक नाक है, वैसा. See, any enterprise will have certain 4 dimensions, 4 factors are required. One 4 factors में क्या है, एक है capital, investment, investors, whatever. Then the second is called management. Then the third thing है workers. Fourth thing है community. Community means society. Community means society where producers are there, consumers are there. All are there. Community. और उसका environment है. So ये 4 अंग है. Any enterprise, any economic activity will have these 4 factors. अभी क्या हो गया कि अभी जो प्रोप्राइटरी इकोनॉमी में क्या हो गया, ये क्या बोलते हैं, तराजू बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, पलड़ा बोलते हैं हिंदी में, आई डोंट नो. हाँ, तो इसमें क्या इम्बैलेंस हो गया. ये इम्बैलेंस क्या है कि कैपिटलिस्ट मीन्स इन्वेस्टर्स and the management has taking the, क्या बोलते हैं, they are eating the cake.
Yeah.
And have left the crumbs for the workers. Crumbs मालूम है ना?
Yeah.
जब आप ब्रेड को ये करते हैं, वो डस्ट गिर जाता है नीचे. ओ जो डस्ट है ना, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, ब्रेड डस्ट बोलते, क्या बोलते हैं, ब्रेड डस्ट. हाँ, ब्रेड डस्ट बेचने वाले मार्केट में ब्रेड डस्ट भी बेचते हैं. तो ये क्रम्स जो है ना, ये क्रम्स आर गिवन टू द वर्कर्स, स्लेव वेजेस देते हैं. और फोर्थ क्या है, फोर्थ इज कम्युनिटी. हियर द कम्युनिटी का मतलब है कि वी हैव रिवर्स, वी हैव एयर, वी हैव व्हाट यू कॉल फिजिकल, जो मटेरियल रिसोर्सेज है विच आर नॉट ओन्ड बाय एनी कंपनी और एनीबॉडी. एंड स्पेक्ट्रम है ब्रॉडबैंड में, whatever it is. So these are all things which are natural creations. अब ये हाउ दे दुरुपयोग करते हैं, पानी का दुरुपयोग करते हैं, हवा का दुरुपयोग, पोल्यूशन करते हैं. They pollute the water, pollute the air, they destroy they pollute the water, and they do not pay for the pollution. For removing the pollution, they won't come forward. Who suffers on account of the pollution of these industries or enterprises? The society suffers. So community का welfare लोगों को, for example mining है, for example when you take to Orissa and several places, the minings destroy the entire natural resources. Lakhs and lakhs of trees are cut down for the sake of the wealth under the ground. For the sake of making profit from the wealth under the ground, they will destroy the forest. When you destroy the forest, what happens? The ecological balance is destroyed. When the ecological balance is destroyed, what happens? There will be extreme climatic factors. For example, take Delhi today. The Delhi is suffering from
Entire north.
Now, if you go deep into the what you call causes of this, what you call the flood, you will find capitalists behind it.
Mhm.
People who have destroyed the natural flow of water. They have polluted the water. They have created so many conditions. So heavy rains, extreme climate का जो आज the world is suffering. जो normal seasons रहते थे पहले, वो normal seasons खत्म हो गया. अभी क्या है? We are having all either too much of rain or too much of lack of rain. Or whatever, deserty. So these extreme climatic conditions have been created by human beings by destroying the ecological balance. ये community का concern. In fact, they are not allowing the community to live. They would like, they are the existential, no, the existence of society itself is being threatened by this enterprise. That is called community. अभी क्या है? The capitalists एक तरफ और management एक तरफ. ये लोग, they eat the cake in the enterprise. They dominate everything. They take away heavy salaries and heavy investment. उनको वो ये investors बोलते हैं management को, you have to increase the shareholder value. अगर आप shareholder का value increase करेंगे every 3 months, then you will be remaining in the management. Otherwise, the investors will demand that the management should be overthrown or taken on, dismissed.
Yeah.
So, in between them, they share the cake. That is what is happening all over the world. And as I told you, you must always be very clear that whatever be the economy, whatever be the structure, whatever be the kind of economy, there will always be these four, चार अंग रहेंगे.
Yes.
1 minute. Can you? I stop the disturbance is coming. Okay.
Where disturbance is coming? I'm not hearing.
At his place. Not from our side, probably at his place.
Okay.
My side. Okay. Leave it. हाँ दादा.
Yes.
अब ये चार अंग तो ये तो नेचुरल है और हमारे प्राउड इकोनॉमी में भी ये चार अंग रहेंगे. ये चार जो फैक्टर्स है, इवन हमारा इकोनॉमी ऑफ प्राउड में भी आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट रहेगा, कैपिटल रहेगा, आपको मैनेजमेंट रहेगा, आपको वर्कर्स रहेगा और कम्युनिटी भी रहेगा. सो नाउ व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? द डिफरेंस इज दैट हियर वी आर गोइंग टू रिवर्स द balance, or rather we will rebalance it. Not because we have to justify all the four factors. So investment, management, workers and community will be equally cared for. This is called rebalancing. हम ये rebalance करेंगे कि people will get decent salaries, decent wages, living wages, and their purchasing capacity goes on. They have got it. And also we'll try to see that the management does not take away the cake. We will also rebalance such a way that the investors are also not making hay, rather looting the whole thing. Today, when in any enterprise, 90% of the income goes to the management and the capitalists. 10% of it only goes towards first of all, the community is destroyed. Our community's ecology is destroyed. They don't pay for it. And for the workers, they give them salary. वे क्या बोलते हैं, slave wages देते हैं, minimum देते हैं. और जहां minimum का काम करने का वैसे तैयार है, उनके बाद चले जाएंगे वो लोग. For example, you are in now in, let us say, you are a citizen of, let us say, maybe Sri Lanka, or let us say even India, or America, let us say. Now the capitalists will go to a place where they can get cheaper labor.
Yeah.
आउटसोर्सिंग बोलते हैं, ना वो बांग्लादेश चले जाएगा, नहीं तो ताइवान चले जाएगा, नहीं तो और कहीं फिलीपाइंस चले जाएगा, जहां का अफ्रीका चले जाएगा, वहां अपना कंपनी लगा देगा. तो बेसिकली क्या है, वो लोगों को स्लेव वेजेस चाहिए. दे वांट टू एक्सप्लॉइट पीपल, ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, ह्यूमन सोसाइटी. ओके, नाउ दिस इज एज फार एज अंडरस्टैंडिंग द बेसिक एलिमेंट्स ऑफ इकोनॉमी और अप्रोच. अभी अपना अप्रोच क्या है, आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट द सब्जेक्टिविटी ऑफ द सब्जेक्टिव approach of the Prout economy. Then I looked at the four factors, and these four factors, today the world is facing imbalance, where 90% of the enterprises, dividends or profit are going towards the only management and the investors, capitalists, and while workers and community are being shortchanged. They are looting the society, in the sense that they destroy the water, they destroy the public, air and everything, for which everybody suffers. They'll have to go to the doctors, they'll die, and all this. Floods, all those. Drought, malnutrition, and all this. So now, Prout wants? Prout wants, if you want to rebalance between the capital, the management, and the workers, and the community's welfare. Communities are ecology, environment, and all this. If we have to rebalance, the power has to be with the community, society. In society, mein kaun hai? Workers. You can look at this, See, the one man is dealing with money. Yeah, one another person is dealing with intellect. Power, artha have about intellectuality, whatever. Here we have human beings. So community कम्युनिटी और वर्कर्स का वेलफेयर बेस्ड इकोनॉमी है प्राउट का. अच्छा, इफ यू वांट community and or the workers to take decision power, the decision power should be transferred from the investors and the management to the workers and the community. If you have to transfer it, the best mechanism for that is cooperatives. So why cooperatives? Because cooperatives will transfer the power of decision making in the enterprise. The decision making will not be in the hands of the capitalist. The decision making power will go into the hands of the workers, because workers representatives will be in the management and board of whatever. And these people will do justice. They'll do justice to the investors. They'll do justice to the management. They'll justice to the community. They'll justice to the workers. Tell me, when the workers representatives run the company or message, will they downsize the, will they dismiss people, will suspend staff, retrench people, staff for the sake of profits? They will not do it. Isn't it? See, but while a company, private company, people know what is today happening in the world. Those fellows, what they are doing is, for the sake of profit, they look at the balance sheet. In the balance sheet, they find that by removing 1,000 people, we can increase our profit. Okay, dismiss 1,000 people. So suspend 1,000 people and make others work like dogs. Okay, whatever it is. So, so the thing is, today even human beings are considered. That is, human beings are also considered as part of capital. See, because they say that the wage structure, the salary का जो item रहता है, statistics रहता है. देखो, I am paying salaries 60 lakhs, 80 lakhs, 1 lakh, 1 crore in the company. He thinks that it is something like a statistic. Yeah. This, if I reduce the cost of this labor, I can make more profit. Fine. So let us reduce the staff by 50%. He is not reducing anything. So he is actually killing the livelihood of people, community, society. So this is not thought by the capitalists or the investors. The management is supposed to be only working for the stock market, where your stock market should go on rise. In fact, this thing happened with this malady, or you can say disease, has become very toxic since the 1980s or 70s, or the 80s, you can say, when Margaret Thatcher and Reagan became came to power in the 80s. Then what happened? People said, in fact, the company started telling that our responsibility is only to the investors. How to increase the value, shareholder value. They said, we are not here to serve the common people. We are not here to society. We are not here to do anything. Our main job, our only job, our religion is how to increase shareholder value. Investors का जो पैसा बनाया है, that is called capitalism. That is the high extreme position in which the capitalism has taken. But in the 50s and 1950s, even also, in the vision of the companies, many companies, or top companies, of top 500 companies, there used to be a column saying that we have a responsibility to society. We have a responsibility to our community. There used to be a statement. But after 70, 80 or 75, 80, all these top 500 companies have removed that clause. They said, we have no responsibility for society. We are not responsible for the community. We are only responsible for the people who have given the money, who have invested the money. And we have to see that they get profit. They get more and more income out of it. So this is a story.
Yeah.
Now, this is the, rather the skeletal structure. So now, how can we rebalance the power between the four factors? That is investment, capital, management, workers, and the community's welfare, or community's well-being, or whatever it is, health. So this is only possible. Only we have cooperatives and the corporate.
Excuse me, Sukhdev
Cooperatives have the
Dada,
power.
can you switch on your video, please? Or any problem?
No, I'm having little problem. Don't have.
Okay.
Maybe my voice may not become clear.
Okay.
So now here what happens now, this is the logic, the rationale behind, there's a rationale behind Prout's cooperatives. And cooperatives are, again, see, you look at it as a subjective approach. See, so now the power is transferred to the majority. Workers are in a majority. For example, many people say cooperatives fail or cooperative सब बोलते ना एक सबके बीच में एक घोड़ा है तो गधा बन जाएगा. सबके बीच में एक घोड़ा है, he is so ill treated that it becomes a donkey. लोग बोलते हैं यार कोऑपरेटिव पावर दे दिया गया तो वो खत्म हो जाएगा वो एंटरप्राइज.
Excuse me, anybody want to speak on the subject can raise hand. We'll take on.
One minute. Let me complete.
I'll give you time. Okay.
हाँ, the capital now लोग बोलते हैं यार कोई आदमी इतना ग्रीडी आदमी जब चला रहा है तो उसको तो उनका नजर कभी प्रॉफिट तो ठीक से चलेगा. But something like that. They say the sense of ownership is in the minority. For example, how many owners will be there for a particular company? 100 people, 200 people, investors, whatever it is. Maybe shareholders here and there, partnerships and all. But community is very big, hundreds of people. Now, workers are in hundreds, while management and investors are in, workers are in thousands, while workers, see, these management, all these things will be maybe 100, 200 people or whatever. So they are a minority. If the minority have a sense of ownership, they are saying that it will run as a profitable enterprise. My question करना चाहता हूँ, common sense issue. If thousands of, if the entire, all the members of the cooperative, they will be in thousands, they are in majority, no? Definitely the workers will be in a majority compared to the number of people who are investors or management. So when 1,000 people have a sense of ownership of the company, how much good they can do to the enterprise, how much good, how much enterprise, how much enthusiasm, how much energy they'll be able to invest. So I will say proud cooperatives can never fail. They only fail because of this atmosphere in which ecosystem of capitalist ecosystem में हम हैं, उसके वजह से cooperatives fail हो रहे हैं. But cooperatives require this kind of psychology also. You require people to understand the psychology, that is the sense of belonging that is required. So it is very easy for the cooperatives to be successful, because when more number of people are having a sense of ownership, they'll protect the enterprise.
Yeah.
Earlier, there were only a minority group of 10 members, 15 members, 20 members who felt we are the managers and the owners. They had a sense. So now when hundreds of people are there who would feel a sense of ownership, how much the enterprise will gain. You can expect cooperatives to be booming and successful, provided there is a political will. That means you will be able to transfer power to the cooperatives only if you have a government run by the Sadvipras and the Prout government.
That is the baseline.
So I rest my case. Namaskar.
Namaskar, Dada. Thank you very much, and be ready for the next turn. Siva Dada, you were stating something, and in between Dada came. You would like to continue?
Yeah, actually, Dada, we have, as Marga, as Proutist, we are all discussing at various forums and particularly in this study circle as well about the cooperatives, and we all know the great importance of it, and it has come right from the mouth of Param Purusha. Well, we have been talking, but can we start doing something in practicality about the cooperatives? At what level we have to start, even with the like-minded people we have? Can we start doing something so that others will also emulate from this and do it? Maybe here and there some cooperatives may be running with or without our knowledge, But still, can we start doing something? Cooperative is very, very important subject. Yeah, that is my point. I'm looking in terms of pragmatic approach.
So Dada, I'd like to tell you here only that this thought prevailing, as we all know, बहुत पहले से बातें हम लोगों के बीच में चल रही हैं, बट सब लोग यही बोलते हैं कि धरातल पे कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है करके. Fortunately, I must say with my conviction that when Anand Marga, the new department, the Social Security Department,
SSD.
Yeah. So there we are working, almost 40 people are quite active and many of them are here. And even we have gone through now we have made almost bylaws as well, even registration is going on. So things are going on in a very strong way. At the same time, in a small way, if you ask, we have three cooperatives. One, I myself is associated here near Tata Nagar. Another is in Delhi. The third one is Patna. They are working to some extent, but yes, with knowledge. It is not that without knowledge they are working. So we are here we want that there should be 100 people, the foundation member, and everything has been decided. So that this is just to tell you, later the other things we'll talk in person. Okay. So things are going on that and going on very strongly. So,
Dada,
yeah.
Rajendra Dada.
Yes, Dada.
I want to caution about one more thing.
Yeah.
See, I want people to think about it. See, there is a town, small town, or let us say village, or a big town, or small town. Okay, there are 3 schools from 1st standard to 10th standard, or let us say college, and one is run by private people, one is run by the government, and one is run by the cooperative or the teachers' cooperative. You are able to get my point?
Yeah. Tell.
Yeah. See, there is a small town or a small village where there are 3 schools. One is run by the private people, one is run by the government, third one is run by the cooperatives of the teachers. Teachers cooperative runs the show. Okay, it's an enterprise. Anything is an enterprise, as I told. Now, I'll tell you, the teachers cooperative school cannot survive in this particular situation. Why? The private fellow will take away all the popular teachers who are working in the cooperative.
Yeah, Dada, today it is not possible.
And he'll take. Then second thing, government. In the government, infrastructure will be absolutely either good or sometimes it may not be there. But it will be there, but it will not be used. There will be infrastructure in the school. So government doesn't care, na. So it goes on, you say he has got a building and all these things, and whether it is being used or not, nobody cares. So there will be 10 teachers and 5 students in a government school. And in a private school, there will be so much of tamasha. The real education will not be there. But there will be very attractive
catchy things,
this thing and all that stuff.
It's a marketing. It's a capital
marketing.
Yeah.
So the cooperative school will not be allowed to survive by either the government or neither the government school nor the private school. Okay.
Dada,
now
it is known. Yes. What do you want to say?
I'm coming to the point. I'm coming to the point.
Yes.
So what I'm saying, I appreciate the enthusiasm of people to start cooperatives and run them as per the demand. If the demand is there and response is there, do it. But don't go beyond that, because it's a waste of time.
Yes.
You cannot survive in this capitalistic atmosphere, capitalistic mechanism, capitalistic economy. Capitalist economy, for example, if this town has got, instead of the one cooperative school and 2 different, like one private and one government, if you have 3 cooperative schools in the same town, there will be really healthy competition and there will be really healthy service and it will be a healthy society. Prout desires to have this kind of situation.
Yeah, that is what you told me. First of all, psychological preparation is required.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that there are many cooperatives who begin, later on they become victimized or they die. For
Yeah,
whatever
but they have
reason.
learned from there and they are coming up. They have
Only
learned
thing
from
is,
that
right,
failure.
but what I am saying is, please understand the principles of cooperatives,
Yeah,
teach them, propagate them. You spend all this energy in propagating the principles of cooperatives.
right.
But saying that I will try to prove it on the ground, see, you are trying to, क्या बोलते हैं, तुम्हारा सर को वाल के ऊपर फोड़ रहे बोलते ना,
हाँ ठीक है दादा okay.
you are
Okay.
beating your head against a wall. Please
Thank
understand
you.
that.
Thank
I'm
you.
not saying that I
Mm.
should not train people in cooperative. You have to train them because this is
Fine.
what we are doing now. What discussion we are having today. He is understanding Prout in the
Yes, in
cooperative.
addition to this, there has been a very, anyway, I'll get you connected later. It's a one-to-one talk. We'll do that. So what I would like to say, if anybody, I'm seeing there are many people. Madhusudhan Dada has joined today. Madhusudhan Dada, would you like to speak on cooperative, proud cooperative and economic democracy? You are the, I mean, you can very well talk. Thank you. Unmute yourself. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Namaskar.
Okay. Namaskar. Yes, very interesting topic. The last speaker, his point is very relevant, but not 100% accurate. Because there are circumstances which cooperatives can survive. It just they're not universal circumstances. They're limited circumstances. That is, if you have to compete against and actually Baba wrote this many years ago, that cooperatives can't survive in a capitalist environment. But in a controlled environment, it may, like what the cooperative we're setting up within Andamarga now is a controlled environment. And that controlled environment basically prevents competition. And because we're controlling from, as I call it, from farm to table, that is, there's a possibility, there's a good chance of success in this program.
Yes.
If you're out but the other thing I wanted to mention, it was also mentioned, oh yes, there's privately owned, there's cooperatively owned, and then there's government owned, like in the teachers. There's not much difference between a cooperative and a privately owned business. The only difference is the ownership.
Yeah.
That is, in a privately owned, there's an individual or a group of individuals own, and a cooperatively owned, there's a lot of individuals that own. So the question with a cooperative is always, the main question with a cooperative is always raising capital. You have to have enough money to run your business. And so it's more difficult for a cooperative to have capital than for, say, a private business or even something with the government. But it can be done. And if there's enough people and if there's enough money put into it, the ownership structure doesn't determine the success or failure in the environment. What's the success or failure is there, well, first of all, is there enough money to run the enterprise, whatever it is, whether it's a school or a food cooperative or whatever, there has to be enough money to run it. And is there support from the community? That's the other thing. And that's where in Andamarga, when we start our own cooperative, well, we assume that Margis will support it. Not necessarily, but if you can give people a better quality product than they can get in a private area and a cheaper price, then who's not going to support that? Sentiment helps, but sentiment alone won't make the thing run. So it's a complex situation, and in some places they work. There's been some really good examples in the United States of cooperatives that were very successful, mostly in the manufacturing, because in manufacturing, see, the incentive in a cooperative is profit sharing. And in a manufacturing business, the manufacturing process creates a lot of, how can you say it? It creates a lot of profit, or there's a lot of increase in value. When if you take a raw material and you turn it into something that's useful, there's a lot of increase in value there. And that value is what makes people wealthy, privately owned people. But in a cooperative, that wealth can be shared among the members of the cooperative. So in manufacturing, there's really enough money to go around to make it and have an incentive for people to work better. Because that's one of the things. When you have a cooperative, the members are people who are actually working in the cooperative. So there should be an incentive for those people to work more efficiently. Not just say, oh, well, I'm just here, it's our place, and we'll just have a nice time. No, you have to work efficiently. And in a business, the biggest incentive is money. And so if you can provide, let's say a person says, well, if I work more efficiently, if I produce more widgets or whatever we're manufacturing, I'll get more profit sharing. Then there's an incentive for people to work harder and do a better job. In retail, there's not as much increase in value like in food distribution. So you have to choose a cooperative, a type of cooperative. And same when you're talking about teachers cooperative, I don't think a school is a big income generator. It's not, you're not manufacturing a product, you're not creating a huge amount of money, financial surplus. So it becomes very difficult financially to justify that. But there are various things that can be done. Anyway, I talked a lot. I'll leave it for somebody else. Namaskar.
Thank you, Dada. Namaskar. May I request Acharya Dilip Dada to speak on the subject, please? Dilip Dada, please. Yeah, thank you.
Namaskar, Dada.
Namaskar, Dada ji.
So, I was listening Madhusudan Dada, and it was nice that he spoke very clearly and to the point on the subject. The point is, as he also said, but I would also like to say in my words,
Sure,
the private enterprise and the cooperatives, the difference is only profit sharing. Otherwise, everything remains the same. Like in the private enterprise, or there are shareholders. Not all the shareholders are involved in the day-to-day management. But in cooperative also, there will be hundreds of people. Technically, the ownership lies with everyone, but they will not be involved in the day-to-day management. There has to be a proper management. So to succeed for a cooperative, it is very necessary that the management is good. And Baba has said clearly in the set of cooperatives, there will be no honorary kind of things in the cooperative. Everyone has to be paid. Paid means once you are making a payment, then you are making you responsible also for the output. So the same thing is there in the case of private ownership or the capitalist system. There also, when they pay, they make sure that he gives more return for what he is paid. So it is almost same system. The only difference lies here. The profit remains with, in case of the private enterprise, with the shareholder, and majority of the shareholding is with some people. Otherwise, it's not that everyone has a equal kind of share. In case of cooperatives, mostly shareholding will be of equal nature. And their participation in the decision-making process, not through day-to-day management, I'm talking of in AGMs and those kind of situations, will be of equal footing. Like, then you are responsible for all the shareholders of the cooperatives, and they're all are equal. So Baba has also made it very clear in our system that how the earning has to be divided. He has made it clear that 50% of the earning of any enterprise, cooperative enterprise, will go to the laborers. Laborers is those who are physically contributing in the cooperatives. They may be management, they may be laborers, they may be any kind of people. The 50% of that will go from the profit, and 50% has to be shared to the shareholder in proportion of their shareholding, that whatever that could be. So this is the kind of situation in the cooperative. So to succeed in cooperative or not succeed in cooperative doesn't arise. The question is the right management. If the management is right, approach is good, it will be successful. As in the case of the private sector, in the private sector also they fail. It's not that everyone is booming. That's not the case. There are many failure stories are there, which is generally we do not see. But the failure story is very high in case of private enterprise even. So in cooperative also there will be failures if the management is not good. If there is no people do not take care of the interest of people, or there are some vested interests come the crops in decision making process, those things will come. So that is the possible things which we should consider.
Right, sir.
Okay, Dada.
Thank you, Dada. Thank you very much. Even you rightly said that Dada Madhusudan Dada also told that whether it is a corporate or cooperative, the skill level to run the cooperative efficiently is the same. So unless you have to be efficient, that is, even Baba says they have to use the modern technology and everything if needed. The second important point is कि आजकल असफलता का जो पर्यायवाची बन गया है, cooperative has become a symbol of failure. But we should never forget, Madhusudan Dada added, there are many cooperatives in United States, Sweden, Australia, and many Scandinavian countries or European countries even, they are quite successful. I would like to quote here very small thing, why? Because why it fails only in India? I mean, let me be more particular. And we all know that here Baba says that there are 3 requirements of a cooperative. And that is what Reddy Dada also says, that we need to make an environment like that. That environment includes the morality has to be the base. As somebody told that it has, the Sadvipra has to be the moralist, and it can be run by Sadvipras only. And the second point was a strict supervision. So there is no, I mean, when you found wrong, it is a wrong. And the third is that wholehearted acceptance. That is what I think who told that if Marg community comes together, it will not be a very difficult task. So we have to convince people, and we want to go in phases. First, the Marg community should get convinced, then to the well-wishers, and then the society. That is the 3 phase we are planning to go. And Baba एक और point बोलते हैं दादा, why cooperative fails here? यद्यपि यहाँ के लोग आध्यात्मिक स्तर पे बहुत ऊंचे हैं, ऐसा बाबा बोलते हैं, परंतु नैतिक स्तर पर पश्चिमी देशों के निवासियों की तुलना में निम्न है. ये सच्चाई है, and that is why they are successful and we are failing. At the same time, the cooperative we are successful there, it is not that they are proud cooperatives. Their principle is not what we are thinking. Yes, they are working together, they are sharing among themselves, but we have some additional parameters which we need to meet. For example, I mean, the ratio of share, so that किसी का dominance नहीं हो, nobody should be dominant. So the ratio of share not be beyond 1:10. At the same time, we have to ensure कि हमारा जो board of directors हो, people has to be the moralist chosen there, so that you are free from other kind of botherations which used to happen, and others are responsible for the failure of cooperative here. So these were the points which was coming to my mind. Anybody else would like to speak on the subject? But एक बात है कि हमारे cooperative में first we want to make the basic minimum requirements the priority, which comes in people economy, if I am not wrong, Dada. So that is our prime in the very beginning, because वहीं से हम ये prove कर पाएंगे जो मेरा first principle है Prout का, कि युगस्य सर्वनिम्न मान प्रयोजनम सर्वेषां विधेयम्. तो उसके लिए कम से कम cooperative ही एक ऐसा system है. And cooperative में एक और बात है, we are talking of the decentralized economy, we are talking of the economic democracy, and that the base is cooperative, because decentralized manner में यदि हम cooperative को, लोगों को जब तक हम local level पर हम उनको sufficient purchasing capacity देने के उसमें नहीं रहेंगे, till that time we cannot think of economic democracy. So what I want to say is the cooperative is a part and parcel of economic democracy. Yes, Gautam Dada, you wanted to say something? You had raised hands. Gautam Pradhan. Please.
नमस्कार दादा.
Namaskar Dada.
कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट के लिए जैसे अभी जो दादा पॉइंट बता रहे हैं, तो मुझे
थोड़ा लाउडली बोलिए दादा, आपका वॉइस धीरे आ रहा है, प्लीज.
मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे इंडिया में कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट गुजरात में चल रहा है, अमूल आनंद मिल्क लिमिटेड वाला, तो वहाँ कैसे चल रहा है? मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वहाँ के लोग कहीं कहीं थोड़ा दूसरे स्टेट या कहीं और की तुलना में स्पिरिचुअली एलिवेटेड है, थोड़ा आध्यात्मिक रूप से कहीं थोड़ा सा ज्यादा वो ऐसा लगता है मुझे. तो दादा अभी आपने जो पॉइंट बोला कि मोरलिटी इज द बेस्ट, बाबा का तीन पॉइंट बोल रहे हैं, स्ट्रिक्ट सुपरविजन और होल हार्टेड एक्सेप्टेंस. तो ये दो पॉइंट को लेकर वहाँ मुझे लगता है कि बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग है, इसलिए वहाँ अमूल का कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट जो है सही चल रहा है. यही चीज अगर भारत के अन्य राज्यों में हो चाहे वर्ल्ड के अदर पार्ट में भी हो, तो जो दो पॉइंट तो आपने बताया कि मोरालिटी है, लेकिन स्पिरिचुअल मोरालिटी जहाँ है इंडिया में, पर सोशल मोरालिटी नहीं है, और फॉरेन में सोशल मोरालिटी तो है, स्पिरिचुअल मोरालिटी नहीं है. तो दोनों का बैलेंस होगा तभी मुझे लगता है कि ये कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट हमारा सही चलेगा.
वेरी गुड पॉइंट. यस, देखिए दादा, इसके लिए सबसे अच्छा एग्जांपल है हम लोग सबके लिए, पूरी दुनिया के लिए, इजराइल. देयर वाज नथिंग, इट वाज अ barren land, and they have come together, they have made so much advance. Let us talk of only agriculture, that they are in position to export, and it is not they are working only on agriculture. We all know that they are technically they are too advanced in other area of life also. It is not that only on agriculture. So this is possible, but ये जो last point है ना बाबा का, the wholehearted acceptance of society. So that is very important. And first, morality, of course, it was there. And yes, so these are the three parameters which is a key parameters for successful of the democracy, and there should be no exploitation. That is why the share ratio has to be 1:10 and not beyond that. So and one more thing which I came to know, so you can correct me if I am wrong, that every shareholder had to work in that cooperative maybe for a short period of time. But it is not that you have share and you have given money and you are don't bother. So that is an additional new thing with Prout Cooperative, that you have to have a ownership in the sense that you have to be involved, you have to care for cooperatives. So unless you are involved in day-to-day activities, maybe weekly, monthly, depends on the requirement, depends on your skill, but you have to involve. That is also a basic point of it.
The other share means shareholder means not only investment of money in the, investment in terms of money, but equal responsibility. Then only he can be a shareholder. Simply, otherwise it becomes a capitalistic approach. I am putting my money and I am not involved.
No, Dada. If you are to see in agriculture cooperatives is a land sharing, okay. But in producer, we are mostly talking of producers cooperative point of view. In producers cooperative, yes, money is the share. Money is the share, but in addition to that, you have to work there.
That's what I'm saying.
That is what you are saying.
Money, yeah, money and involvement. Both should
Yes.
be the aspect of the definition for share.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it becomes again a capitalistic approach. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it will not be capitalist, of course, because unless with the three parameters, if you are matching, certainly it will not be the capitalist cooperative. And if you are limiting the shares, certainly it will not be the capitalist cooperative. So there are many checks and balances in between in both cooperatives. Yeah, Surinder Reddy ji, please, you want to say something? Surinder Dada, can you unmute yourself? Yes.
Sorry for again in interfering. एक important aspect है वो shares का. See, there is something called transfer board called ये shares है ना, shareholding. Shareholding में we don't have this stock market style of
yeah, you cannot sell. Yeah.
The word used is tradable shares. Prout does not believe in tradable shares.
Yes.
That is a share used only for making profit or money.
Yes.
Here is not concerned about whether the company is really making profit or not. He is only looking at how I can skim the profit or skim the difference between what was how he purchased it, or what amount he purchased it, how he is able to sell it at this point of time. So that is called skimming, whatever it is. So that is
Yeah.
based upon money. This is called money making money, money producing money. So this is where here, but what Prout believes is the shares either should be inherited, donated, inherited, or surrendered to the company. You can surrender to the company and get the value.
Only three
You can
aspects are
inherit
there.
to your people. You can donate it to some trust or whatever it is, but they are not traded. That means shares should not become a avenue for what you call profit making on the shares. It is about the company where which you can. So tradable, for example, you might be surprised to know the first tradable share or the discovery of this tradable shares concept has come about because of East India Company. Before this East India Company began this experiment, there used to be only people who had some involvement in the company or whatever, or some shares. But of course, there are non-working people also will have shares, but they had an involvement in other ways. But purely tradable shares became a norm.
You rightly said that in Prout,
East
there
India
is not,
Company.
tradable share is not there.
So, what Prout says is that speculation, speculative income, speculative income. It is nothing to do with the production. It is nothing to do with the health of the industry. It has nothing to do with all those things. So economy, the real economy is different. While the economy is collapsing, the trade shares will be rising. These are all politics. A kind of a mechanism is there. For example, take Adani. Adani has been able to make the valuation of the shares bounce up and up by creating some kind of a market from abroad. See, for various countries, he used to pump his own money from there into these shares. So to make the people feel in the share market that these really values are highly shared. So they have been. It has come to a position where the Hindenburg report says that the real value is 15 rupees, but but it has been increased to 100 rupees.
Right, Dada. So that chances is not there in Prout.
That is what is the we have a very toxic system, the capitalist toxic system of making capital the thing, and that has to be prevented. So then, thus, we are not in favor of tradable shares. They are only in shares which are owned by them, which they can inherit, we can donate, we can surrender.
Okay. Thank you, Dada. May I request Acharya Dada want to say something again?
Okay. In fact,
And after that, Madhusudhan Dada, please.
Yeah. In the protestic system, we know that we have a industrial policy which says that the key industry has to be with the government, and other than key industries will come to the cooperatives.
Yeah.
And then it will be a individual owned industries or companies. And what will be the size of that?
Very small and too for luxurious item, yeah.
It is not written, or we have not formed up that what has to be the value, the size of that individual based companies. But that all the three things exist. When we are talking of whether the ecosystem of cooperatives will be there or not. So in the protestic society, since those industries where needs more employment will be with cooperatives only. So always, if that be the case, then the ecosystem will be there. And all those who will be working in the company, say, which has more than 15 or 20 people or 10 people or whatever that size we may decide, till thousands and 10,000 or lakh of people, there could be even more people in a company. So that it will be on cooperative system. So the protestic systems enables that ecosystem for the cooperative, because we say that certain sectors are only for the cooperatives.
Yeah.
The cooperatives to be there. So this is how the ecosystem will work. So that was the point I thought of sharing.
Thank you, Dada. Can I request Madhusudhan Dada to unmute? Thank you. Yes, Dada.
Okay. Thank you. I wanted to mention something about Prout.
Mhm.
The basic concept of Prout is to provide for the welfare and happiness of everyone. The basic principle of capitalism is to provide for the increasing wealth of a few. And anything that's done under Prout has to be done with that in mind. In the United States, there was a Supreme Court ruling many years ago that said that the primary duty of a corporation, corporate management, is to provide for the increasing value of the shareholders' shares. So if a corporation management made decisions that reduced the value of the shares of the shareholders, they could go to court and sue, saying that they didn't manage their business properly. Whereas in Prout, our goal is, of course, you have to make money in a business. That's a basic principle. Without a positive income, that is, without having profits, you can't have a business. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
well, maybe in the government you could do it, but you can't have a business without profit. But the quantity of profit or the amount of profit is not going to be sacrificed. No, the welfare of people, that is the objective of that business or cooperative, will not be, the welfare of the people is not going to be sacrificed in order to make more money. So in every decision that's made, and this goes in a cooperative too, you have to take the financial issue into account, but you also have to take the welfare issue in terms of, are we providing the service in a proper way? Is this business providing the service that people want? We have to remember what are we doing as in terms of our the people who are patronizing this business, and also the people who are in the business. So we have to provide for the welfare of everybody. Now, you don't provide for the welfare of people to a point where you lose money, but there has to be a balance in that, and that you don't find in capitalism. Thank you.
Thank you, Dada. Yeah, Mithu Singh Dedi, please. Thank you.
Namaskar, Dada. And
Namaskar. Namaskar.
I'm sorry I joined a little late, so maybe the things which I am talking, like which I am raising, some queries are there, so might be that has
Fine.
already been discussed, but still it's there in my mind. First of all, what I feel is that even if we talk about the cooperative, still we will be having the shareholders who are going to put some big money into it. So I just want to have a query or something, some restlessness, that what happens if shareholders decide to close the company because they are the shareholder for their own interest. So cooperative should not be closed on the whims of shareholders, or it cannot be sold. It should not be sold. It should not be closed. So this is what I feel so.
Yeah.
And it should not be sold. It should not be. And second thing is, like a person who can elect a prime minister of a company, of a country, he should have a little authority also to select. If the director is going in a wrong direction, so he should be able to select a right person in place of that existing director. So that right to elect a director should also be given. This is the things which are coming in my mind. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Didi. First of all, you rightly understood that shares are not sellable in Prout. Second point is, Didi, that there cannot be monopoly because there is a limitation of share holding. Is maximum 10 times. If the minimum share is 1, the maximum you can have 10. So there is no chance of monopoly. So there are many points embedded in this system. Second point, as you said, that nobody should from top. No, there is a very clear system that you will choose your director or board of directors among the shareholders based on their qualitative or service or all-round nature. So it is the people who are in the system, they will only choose their, so not from top, somebody will not put. And that is the reason of failure of Indian cooperative. You rightly pointed out this point. So these were the 2 points. The second important point is, Didi, that the minimum and maximum share. So the which I came to know that the minimum share is decided on the basis of how much will be the minimum purchasing capacity of a person who can have a purchasing capacity for the minimum requirements of life. So that value of the share will be the minimum, but beyond cannot go beyond 10. Even if people, if you are interested, if you are local people, if you are not able to purchase the minimum share 10, I am talking, if maximum is 99.9, then minimum is 10. If you are not able to have a 10 shares, and if you have money just to purchase 3 shares, the balance minimum for minimum shares, the bank will cooperate you, but not for the maximum share, but for the minimum shareholding. So there are many in between points to understand. So Prout Cooperative have, with my understanding, it has so boundary tightened with happiness. It is not that very exploitative, no, but no, capitalistically nobody can exploit this cooperative. So, and that's why I don't know whether you heard, the 3 fundamental requirements are there. First of all, morality has to be there. So that is what somebody told Dada, that Sadvipra's mindset is very much required to prepare first. And second is that they have to have a wholehearted acceptance. How you will accept? When you will see the system, what are the do and don'ts, what are the limits. Unless you feel comfortable, then only you will be the part of cooperative. But nobody will have a monopoly, that is sure here. So I think your 2 doubts will be very clearly, I'm able to.
Yes, Dada. Thank you so much.
That's why one more thing which I wanted to mention, that in our cooperative, like in even today's corporate event, the people having a different skill set will have a different salary, will have a different package. So by doing this, we are again justifying the second sutra of economic, that is atiriktam pradatavyam gunanupaten. The balance, after fulfilling the minimum requirements, the balance will be distributed based on your skill and how much you have contributed with that skill, how much time you have invested. So these all factors are being embedded in that. That is what my understanding is there. Yeah, Surinder Dada, please. Who is that?
Dada, I just want to 1 minute. Okay.
Yeah.
See, the very purpose of the cooperatives is that the decision-making power is shifted to the workers.
Local people, yeah.
Worker ownership. Actually,
Yeah.
we call it worker-owner cooperatives.
Yeah.
Worker-owner cooperative.
Owned cooperative, yes.
So what happens is, in the board of directors, the majority will be elected members from the by the board, what do you call cooperative members, a majority. And the minority will consist of specialists, advisors, consultants, those who are in the, what do you call, but decision, when the majority in the board of directors are representatives of the workers, no decision will go against the welfare and the interests of the workers. So the decision-making power will be in the workers' hands. So this is ensured. This is ensured by having its dominance in the board of directors.
Right. So there is no chance of exploitation there. Anybody else would like to?
The very purpose of the cooperative, that they should decide, the capacity to or in decision-making power should be in the hands of the majority of the workers and cooperative members.
Yes.
They have to have the dominance.
Yeah, Prem Prakash ji would like to say something. Prem Prakash Khatri. You are unmuted. You want to say something on cooperative? आप कुछ cooperative पे बोलना चाहते हैं? Just a minute, let me mute him. Okay, fine. Yes. So I think we are ending at the end. So the
थोड़ी दादा एक एक और
something,
क्वेश्चन था
yeah, Gautam Pradhan ji.
दादा एक चीज पूछना था अभी दादा सोनल दादा बोल रहे थे कि वर्कर ओनर जो डिसीजन मेकिंग के लिए उन्होंने बोला था वर्कर मेकिंग तो वर्कर्स ओनर है ना डिसीजन मेकिंग में वर्कर का कंट्रोल कर लिया करते
नहीं, rightly said there is no worker. वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए बोले हैं. प्रउत में वर्कर करके कोई नहीं है. Everybody is मालिक. Everybody is a shareholder. He told it for understanding. Yes.
ओके मेरा एक कंसर्न है दादा जो टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज या मैनेजमेंट के लिए जो वहाँ रहेंगे वहाँ पर जैसे कि प्रउत यहाँ पर जो सहकारिता का मतलब तो ये हुआ कि एक के लिए सब और सबके लिए एक वहाँ जो जैसे क्योंकि एक होगा कि अपना फिजिकल कंट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे हैं एक फाइनेंशियल कंट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे हैं एक वो हो सकता है अपना स्किल अपना कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है एक मैनेजमेंट पे है एक इसमें है कि जहाँ पर कोऑपरेटिव जो चल रहा है वहाँ पर किसी का अपना लैंड होगा हो सकता है तो मुझे लगता है कि डिसीजन मेकिंग के लिए जो वर्कर वाला जो ज्यादा बोला ना हालांकि आपका अब क्लियर हो गया कि टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज से लेकर जो स्किल पर्सन
आपका वॉइस बहुत क्लियर नहीं है. See here, decision making is of at the bottom level. There is no that top man will be say everything. No, that is what the other cleared. That even the directors are selected by the team who is working there. They are not dropped from top, and they are one among the workers. They may be worker even. It is not that
there will be elections based on
worker. Yeah, somebody is saying
they will be elected.
Yeah, they will be elected. Yes. So I think दादा गौतम दादा जो आपका वो हिच है वो I think ऐसा कुछ भी वहां पे नहीं है. Everybody can contribute. Even if you are physically contribute, you can contribute. And if you are, and one more thing, there is no retirement age. Till you are healthy enough to work, you can work. If you feel no, now I should take rest, I have enough share, now I'm old enough. That's all your discretion. So one more thing is there is no retirement age here. So that is very important point. Yeah, I hope Gautam Dada, I hope you are kuch clear hua.
got your point.
Okay. So we should, anybody else would like to say something, or we have still 7 minutes in hand.
Dada, one last point I want to.
Yes, Didi, why not? Please.
That beside the finance, that how much to be contributed, how much to be distributed, one more thing which has to be taken at the utmost priority is the sentiment of the ownness of the organization.
Yes.
That yeah, so matlab the effort must be there not only on the financial level, even on the behavioral level also. That
correct, Didi, absolutely right you are. And that is the beauty of cooperative. There is a coordinated cooperation. They feel like brothers and sisters. There is no subordinated cooperation. In Prout, there is no something like boss and junior or senior, something like that. There is no bosses. I think this is my understanding about Prout cooperative. Because everybody have a share. You can understand in capitalistic setup how much value they give to the shareholder. So in our system, everybody is a shareholder. So everybody is important. And something more is there. There is so much transparency is there. You can ask any, it is not that you cannot speak. The most important thing you rightly said, that atmosphere should be such, and it is bound to be there, the kind of people are there, that everybody should be open. We try to work in a unanimous decision. If somebody is not convinced, with the logic and reasoning, we have to convince. We try to make the unanimous decision. It is not that somebody have decided and things will go. No, it is not like that. And because everybody is working for the welfare and working for themselves, they're not working for others. They're not working for profit. So they are working for themselves. So there will be a sense of contribution, sense of belongingness, which you are expecting. Obviously, it will be there. I had heard one interview of our Prout cooperatives running in Australia. It was wonderful atmosphere. and sometimes I'll share that the video is with me. Yeah, so I think anything else, Sivadada, you want to say something, or shall we conclude? I think we can conclude. If you want to say something. Any question, please, let us make it clear. Dada, you are muted. Shiva, you are muted. Yeah.
No, Baba says in the cooperatives, the sweetest unifying factors are love and sympathy for humanity.
Mm.
The wounds of human heart are joy, pleasure, and beatitude.
Right.
In the physical realm, the best expression of this human sweetness is the cooperative system.
Absolutely.
The cooperative system is the best representation of the sweet nectar of humanity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for ending with a very nice quote. And yes, Baba says that it is the duty of each Sadvipra to protect the ignorant masses. As you rightly said, our purpose is the welfare. The purpose is to take care of everyone. So Baba says our duty of Sadvipra is to protect the ignorant masses from the fatal hunger for mundane property, which is encouraged by the self-seeking exploiters. And see, our big challenge is, as somebody was explaining, the private school, I mean, private people will not let you establish. But that's what, if there is a, I mean, conviction is there among the team, nobody can deter you. You will be successful. And that is what Dada Madhusudana was also telling. This time, we are deciding very strong food that we will be making the cooperative successful, and we are working on that. So he says that these self-seekers try to hide themselves and their naked brutality under the camouflage of democracy. You know that even my leaders know that where exploitation is going on, but they cannot say, because next election they have to take money from them. So they cannot go against that. That is why we are not for the political democracy. We want economic democracy, if you are talking of democracy at all. So with these lines, I think we should close the session. Let us have a minute of meditation at the end, as per our protocol, and then we'll close the session. So namaskar, join for meditation, please. Namaskar, and thank you for spending 1.5 hours almost. And next Saturday session, maybe we have 2-3 points people have sent. We will declare in day or two, but next Saturday, please be there. Thank you so much, everyone, and for your contribution. I thank from the core of my heart. Thank you very much for making this open forum successful. Let us make it a voice of Prout. Thank you.